The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits. What is up, Octo Nation? Today we are going with a subscriber request. So big shout out to Brandy. She's actually brought this one up a couple times. She's been with us almost since like day one. Have you? She's seen like all of our videos, comments on all of them. Love it. Thank you so much for the support. This one is rad. I didn't even ever hear this one either. We're talking about batteries. She's like, dude, talking about Novonix. Hello. So here we are. I like this one. This is probably the most rock solid one we've talked about recently, at least. Let's dive on in. These guys, renewables and energy demand driving battery materials growth 10x by 2030. They're showing, as we know, that continued growth for electronic battery is going to keep multiplying 10x in the next 10 years, which is massive. Company overview. Novonix, ticker in the ASX is Nvnxf. They're investigating applications for listing in North America. They're actually on the OTC currently, on OTCQX is that ticker, but always just type in the name wherever you're at. So they've got the Novonix Battery Technology Solutions, which was founded in 2013 and acquired in 2017. The technology accelerates R&D from years to weeks. The partnership with Dalhousie University, battery testing, design, and prototyping services, sales to battery and OEM multinationals in 15 countries, owner of DPMG Manufacturing Technologies. So they've got it split up into different sectors. This is very smart. It's also been around for a long time, since 2013. I like that also. And they're definitely going after OEM electronic vehicles and stuff too, which is rad. Then they've got Pure Graphite Anode Materials, which is a joint venture that was founded in 2017, fully acquired in 2019, so they own the whole thing now. US-made high-capacity, long-life synthetic anodes. Conditional sales agreement with Samsung, so they've got a brand. SDI in December of 2019. A non-binding MOU agreement with Sanyo, January 20th. There's two brands. Commercial production already started. That's huge. Deploying DPMG technology soon. Then they've got the whole cathode materials. That is coming soon, leveraging their technology moving to pilot scale. Ground floor patents in for new tech. Single crystal cathode breakthrough. I've been listening and researching these guys talk about it, going over their investor presentations like this. And it seems pretty neat. I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible, but essentially it's going to just take batteries further and further down the line to make them way more efficient. And these guys have patents on those single cathode designs. We'll get into it more here in a second. So the quest for the million-mile battery, GM versus Tesla for the million-mile battery. So it's been kind of hyped up. People have been talking about that. Like, could we make a battery that would last a million miles? So I think you'll get it. There's just been multiple articles and multiple hype things talking about the million-mile thing. So these guys are saying that they can do it. They're saying that they're like literally the only ones out there that can achieve it. Requirement for them is long life and did you hear that? Stock market is closed. Pure graphite anode, developed and scaling, long life cathodes. They've got the single crystal cathode. That's what they're saying is mainly going to do it. Under development, and the IP is filed. Long life electrolytes, which is demonstrated performance, and IP being filed. So, if this is really the only way to achieve that million miles, to have that single cathode version of this stuff, and these guys have a patent on it, realize how huge that is? It's going to be huge. And as far as patents go, a patent can take a long time to fully get awarded to you, but as long as one is filed, you can still hold it if something else is brought forth, right? So if someone else now comes out a month later after you filed it, even though it's not 100% awarded, you can still kind of kick them out eventually if you get 100% awarded. Then you'd be like, oh, see, we got the patent, you're no good. It's only us. So they have all three of these big elements in-house. So group technology roadmap, they are just showing that they are on track. This year they filed the patents back in 2018, and they're looking all the way towards 2022. The patent app filed a higher kilowatt hour, longer life cathode material and technology. So they're still saying about a year and a half out for that. Other high kilowatt hour, longer life battery technologies, they even got more and more advanced stuff. They already have ones that they can do, just like other ones we've talked about, but they're in the process of getting more and more. These guys came off a lot more trustworthy from what I was able to find. It's just kind of my gut feeling on it, whether or not, because like the other one yesterday with the Australian one, it just seemed slightly more sketchy to me when I was reading through everything, because they said they have some patents too, but I don't know if you saw that in my first video a couple days ago about the batteries and upcoming places. I think it'd be best to kind of spread the money around however you see fit in between a mixture of the two or three, but keep moving here. Why customers want Novonix anode materials: the capacity, the increased battery energy density. So it's showing that these guys have like a pure graphite that's like just super efficient. They're showing versus the Chinese synthetic batteries, it's more efficient. Japanese synthetic, they're saying it's as efficient, or if not a little bit more. And all natural graphite is the same, if not a tiny bit more too. But you go to first cycle efficiency, and you can see that the battery energy density is actually up on their pure graphite, is what they're calling it, because they're single cathode or whatever of it, the more efficient one. So life cycle for electric vehicles and energy storage systems require very long cycle life. So all natural graphite has a low life, but they're rating their stuff as very high versus the Japanese synthetics. So they're saying they're better than even all the best stuff coming out of Japan, and better than China for sure. So the cost, they're not the most expensive. They're actually less expensive than the Chinese or the Japanese one, but they're not the cheapest either. They're kind of like medium price is what they're saying versus everyone else. So safety, purity, they're saying they're higher. Emissions and chemicals, they're the lowest. In fact, they're saying very low. No one else is even rated low or medium. They're giving everyone else a high. So that's great. So it's even more green, let's call it, lower emission energy sources, no chemical purification, and they manufacture in the USA. So the supply diversification. So it's always best and easiest to deal with the United States when you're moving product around. It just is. Still the world held currency that people want to trade with. Why customers want Novonix anode material: synthetic graphite anode material clearly beats competition in head-to-head testing. This is just showing, and this is funny too, because even underneath it, okay, for instance, Novonix offers improved efficiency compared to industry-leading materials, including a Tesla Model S cell. So they're showing that their stuff is better than Tesla's. I like it because they're straight calling them out, right? If Elon sees this, he's probably gonna be like, dude, why are these guys better than us? Let's buy these guys. Why wouldn't he? That's what he should do. It's probably what he's gonna do. Novonix offers improved capacity retention compared to industry-leading materials, including the Tesla Model S cell, as expected from higher climatic effect. Better capacity retention means less range loss over time for electric vehicles, so your batteries will last longer. The phased growth plan for pure graphite, they're just going to keep kicking butt. So this year, they've already got the whole Samsung thing, right? Which is huge. And they're saying in 2022 to 2025, they're ramping up, going to 25,000 tons per year versus this last year and next year, they're only going to do 2,000 per year. But they're also saying that, they're name dropping Sanyo. Now, I believe Sanyo and Panasonic are connected, and I'm pretty sure that Tesla gets their batteries from Panasonic, right? Is that true? I think so. So, I think this is going to get them into that. So the production footprint, these guys are in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Y'all ever been there? It's a fantastic place. Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Europe. They're actually going to be over there for the medium scale. And then once they get to the large scale, they're going to continue to co-locate with battery manufacturers. So they're saying they're open to go, even they should have another one in China, because Asia's huge. Asia's huge for electronic vehicles. The revenue ramped to annualized rate of 20 million plus Australian. Doesn't seem like much. CapEx at 25 million Australian. And this is a big one here. So Novonix has agreements with 2 large battery manufacturers. These manufacturers represent 40% of the global lithium-ion battery market in 2018. Samsung supply agreement and R&D collaboration. Initial supply of 500 tons of synthetic graphite anode material commencing in 2020, subject to Samsung required quality assurance process. The latest interview I heard from these guys, they said that they got it. It sounded like to me they pretty much have completed that. It wasn't 100%, but it sounded like that's what he was getting at. It's good to go. So working toward longer-term supply agreement, R&D collaboration agreement with new materials, conditional on supplier audit today. That's huge though. 500 tons of their graphite. That's a lot, man. And then they've also got a non-binding with Sanyo. Okay, yeah, it is a subsidiary of Panasonic, which is great. So there's 2 big brands they're pairing with. Now, if we can take those brands and then pair them with Tesla or SPAQ or any of the other places, I'm not going to get into how this, how the current precursor synthesis process works, but I think you're getting the overall gist of it. So they're showing optimizing conditions for different particles. So high nickel and cobalt free materials. So again, they're going nickel and cobalt free. Again, remember Tesla's already looking to pair up with the cobalt company, so they're still behind on this. This is the new set. Coatings, dopants for performance improvement. First patent application filed around polycrystalline and core shell type materials. Then they've got the polycrystalline versus single crystal materials. Process for also making crystal that meets industry standards for crystal structure, morphology, capacity, and first cycle efficiency, scaling to demonstrate cycle life, performance, and optimized design. The second patent application filed around single crystal processing technology. It's absolutely crazy. So this is showing their single crystal, and then the polycrystal down here that's all cracked out. Say no to crack, okay? You want it to look like this. You don't want it all cracked out. You want it looking nice. That's what they got. That's what they got the patent on. Single crystal cathode. It's emerging as a key factor in the million-mile battery. GM and Tesla are publicly pursuing it. Professor Jeff Dan, a team at Dalhousie University, proving it can be done, and Tesla filing related patents. Interesting. Developed by Professor Mark Obrovec and team at Dalhousie University. Is it Hussey University? Patents filed by Novonix with 100% royalty rights. They own it. Dry synthesis method with potential to significantly lower cost and reduce waste. Just keeps going on and on and on. I think you guys get it, right? Just more efficient. It rips. They've already got brands tied to it. They're set up for the future. This isn't like a previous thing that's that's already there. This is the next thing. They have the first commercial technology in pure graphite anode material with the Samsung. I like this one. How can you not? I don't know. That's what I'm kind of thinking. How could you not? Let's take a look at the ticker on it. Nvnxf is what I'm going for. That is in the United States of America. Where are we? So, beginning of September, end of August, we zipped on up to $1.20-ish, consolidated and ripped down, got burnt out, and zipped right back up, gapped up to about $1.50-ish. Came down to about $1.35, $1.37. It's just been consolidating there. So, how am I riding this? Same basic thing I do every time on these type of plays. I put in a buy above it. This thing does have quite a bit of shares compared to a lot of the ones we talk about. It's got 349 million shares, which is not crazy. It's not like NIO, like 1 point something billion shares, but that's still quite a bit of shares. So to get this thing to 2x, it's going to take a lot more than like the other ones. But this one seems further along. It seems more legit. They've already got some brands tied to it. That's why it's a little bit more expensive. So what do you guys think? Are you in this one already? Let me know down in the comments what you're thinking. I want to point this out. We're going to move on to a couple charts. I'm going to point out SPAQ SPAQ. I found another line for everybody. So this is coming off the previous highs it was smacking, okay? And then now we're using it underneath it. So don't forget to look on the top of old and the bottom of others. Most of the time we're just looking at the top of stuff. Kind of look at the bottom and look at bottom channels here. Regardless, what is this giving us? It's giving us another line to watch. You know, we're actually sitting in this this flag here, and this is not a good looking flag. You know, this is technically, it looks like it's going bull, but it's also a flag telling us it's going to go bear. It looks like a bear flag. And what happened? It broke to bear. But we have this line I drew in, which is at 1660, and it like almost hit it and then bounced up. So as long as we can stay above this, I think we're fine. As long as we can stay above 1650-ish, I think we're going to be okay on this. The spreads on this, so the options came out on this today. The spreads were kind of high. You know, people were asking a lot for getting in. I don't blame them though. I mean, I think that this is something that is going to eventually run even a lot higher than it is now. But they settled down and they're not too bad. So if you're wanting to get into calls or something, you can. It's a decent time to get in. Everything else I think is looking how it should. You know, Tesla did exactly what we thought it was. It was going to hit this, bounced up, broke through this, and now guess what? It's headed, you know, trying to head to 500 again. So, did anyone get back in this downward channel and it was like around like 340 or whatever? We did on the comments, so it's pretty cool if you did. It's a pretty big pop for you. Did anyone buy any calls on this? Write any of that up? We got some Powell talk, some Fed talk going on maybe tomorrow or the next day for a couple days. So the market always gets kind of wobbly. So depending on what they say or don't say, it could have an effect on everything. So just be sure and watch your positions. Okay. One of our viewers actually came out and let me know something, that he was watching that Chamath Palihapitiya. Did I say it right? It's going off the top of my head. I know you guys are on me for not pronouncing that right. So he talked about looking into sports betting this morning on CNBC. Remember, he announced he's merged with that real estate company. So he mentioned soccer specifically. So he talked about sports betting, and then he mentioned soccer specifically. And he was saying, this guy, Frag Buckler, who wrote me on Twitter, shout out, buddy, which makes sense for an IPOC play. So that's true. So I think that'd be kind of cool, you know, something cool, something fun, man, you know. Soccer play, all right. Sports betting, you know, great. I'm all into that. Okay. I don't know how soccer's going like in Europe and stuff. I mean, are they playing soccer in Europe right now or Mexico? I have no idea. I'm not a watcher at all, but you know, I'm down if there's betting and we can make some money for sure. I thought this would be a cool play though, you know, and Chamath, I think he's someone who he can kind of sneakily kind of put stuff out there, you know, like that. So we'll watch it, and I do believe that could totally fit in the international type of plays going forth with IPOC. So we'll take a look. Any other plays y'all want me to take a look at? If you haven't subscribed, please do it. Definitely helps out the channel, and y'all have a good rest of the day. Take care. Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.